I hope you're having a great Sunday. Well, today I want to talk about emotional wellness. There are a lot of people who come to us from all over the world, and when we diagnose problems in them, when we look at their diseases like cancer, like diabetes, cardiovascular problems, whatever the issue may be, it's wrong to say that only bad emotions and only poor emotional health can cause disease. You see, most diseases are multifactorial. There are many, many things that contribute towards disease. Like, we can't just say excessive sugar intake causes diabetes. Diabetes is caused by multifactorial reasons. Having a lot of sugar could be one of the small reasons and one of the factors, but then there is also lifestyle, there is blood pressure to look at, there is sleep quality, there is balanced nutrition, and there's, of course, a sedentary lifestyle to look at. So when we talk about emotional wellness today, you'll be surprised at there are hundreds and hundreds of studies, even in medical journals, showing case studies of people, who are going through chronic stress, people who are going through negative emotions chronically. Now, as human beings, we need to understand that we cannot always chase happiness. Our lives, there is going to be sadness, there is going to be happiness, there are going to be easy times, there are going to be difficult times. That is life. Every single human being goes through that. There is not one human being who is permanently happy, nor is there one human being who's permanently sad. So all of us go through these emotions, but emotional wellness, like physical wellness, how do we define physical wellness? When we feel fit in our body, when we're at the right weight that helps us feel comfortable and keeps us disease-free. Emotional wellness is managing all our ups and downs, our happiness and sadness, the tragedies that we go through, the bliss that we go through, managing it in a way where it does not destroy our health. You see, when we're constantly filled with negative emotions, what happens is when you're constantly filled with negative emotion, that weighs down on your immunity. By now, we all know that each and every one of us are built up of trillions of cells in the human body, and it is proven in science that these cells vibrate with every emotion and every thought that goes through our head. Each and every one of these trillion cells vibrate according to the environment that we live in. It responds to sound, it responds to thoughts in the subconscious, in the conscious mind. All these cells are constantly vibrating with energy, and that's what the whole universe and the human body is built on, the principle of energy. Now, when our emotional wellness is balanced, which means we go through a hard time, but we have tools that help us cope through and get out of it. Now, I'm not talking about coping tools like excessive alcohol, excessive smoking, drug addiction and stuff like that. Yes, some people may have a glass of wine or two, or maybe a glass of whiskey or something else to unwind and feel better. There's nothing wrong with that. But when we try to cope by making an addiction our coping process, that's what becomes a problem. So when we talk about emotional wellness today, it has its root cause with almost every possible illness. There are even scientific studies showing that a pregnant mother carrying a child who is going through extreme emotions, the child may be impacted by the mother's emotional health as well. That is how important it is, which is why when you go back into tradition, when you go back decades and decades ago, years ago, pregnant women were usually placed or put into villages with their mothers so that they could have a peaceful pregnancy. Of course, the world has changed today, but there was a reason why that was done. Because, the emotional health of a mother is extremely important for the emotional health of the child. Anyway, moving on to real life today. No matter what anyone believes, we need to understand that the stress that each and every one of us have in our life today is way different from what it was maybe 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. They didn't even have half the stress that we go through today. And most of the stress that we go through today has now become chronic. From the time you wake up till the time you sleep, people are constantly on the move, moving on from one thing to another. Now, this is not our fault, but we need to understand that this is the world that we live in, so we need to accept the fact that it is not natural to the human body and the human mind, which is why all of us crave more and more holidays. All of us crave to move away from the metro cities to more quieter places where there's a water body, nature, mountains, clean air. So we automatically and naturally want to move to these areas because naturally we want to move out of the environment that keeps us constantly stressed, which is why no matter how stressed you are, you take a walk amidst nature and you will feel better. Your problems won't go away, but you will feel better because nature heals. And we have to understand that emotional wellness has its connection with almost every disease. When we accept this, then we start to do something about it. But when we don't accept it, and when professionals keep telling you that, oh, everyone has stress, sorry, your disease is not caused by that, then we don't look at developing new habits to improve our emotional wellness. And that is the biggest miss that we have in today's framework of medicine, be it alternative, be it natural, be it conventional, be it allopathic, whatever it is. We don't work with the root cause of what the problem is. So if you know your illness or your heart attack or your stroke was caused because of years of stress or days of stress or months of stress, 90% of your healing is going to revolve around you working with your stress levels, working with your emotional levels, not just eating anti-inflammatory foods and popping curcumin and going for 1-hour walks and doing CrossFit. No, that will help. But 90% of your healing, will and should be linked to the root cause of what your problem is. So if your problem was a sedentary lifestyle, 90% of your lifestyle plan should be converting your sedentary lifestyle into an active lifestyle. Pumpkin seeds won't fix it. Popping zinc capsules won't fix it. You've got to be very, very clued into what the root cause of your problem is. Anyway, let's come straight to the solution. So many people walk into our clinics every day and we ask them, do you meditate? Because honestly, when it comes to emotional wellness, meditation is the anchor that can keep you grounded. You can have all the distractions in the world to distract you from your emotional issue or from your stress. But after that distraction passes away, you come back down. You are left with the same problem. So a lot of people decide to start parting away their emotional stress or over socializing and drinking and smoking. But when they come home at night, they still have the problem. They still have the same issue. So I'm not saying don't party. I'm not saying don't socialize. I'm saying along with that, you have to have one anchor that grounds you. One anchor that allows you to look inside yourself and face what you are going through. Because only when we face what we're going through can we accept it and start doing something about it. But if we're covering it with layer and layer of new clothes, alcohol, drugs, smoking, video games, whatever it is, that problem still stays inside of you, and we're only covered it up with layers. It's going to still trouble you, and whenever you have a thought of it, that problem's going to come back with all the emotions. And that's what constantly makes us sick and doesn't allow us to heal. Because when you have constant chronic emotion in you, your immunity is constantly suppressed. And we all know what happens when immunity is suppressed, which is why a lot of doctors will tell people, hey, just take some time off work, go and rest. Just go and rest. Sometimes just resting will bring down your inflammation, because we also know chronic stress produces adrenal fatigue, burnout, too much of cortisol, inflammation in the human body. And inflammation, again, causes so many lifestyle disorders that we're aware of. So we ask people, do you know how to meditate? And people immediately, a lot of people, no, I can't meditate. I cannot close my eyes. My mind is restless. I can't stop my thoughts. I can't stop my thoughts from coming. I want to break that myth right now. Meditation is not about you trying to control your thoughts. It is not about you trying to silence your mind. No one can do that. There is a process that leads you to that. So meditation is not about sitting cross-legged, lighting a candle, and trying to sit with a calm mind. You won't be able to do that for 2 to 3 minutes unless you've been practicing the art of meditation. Now let me give you an example. If you like playing soccer and for 1 hour you play soccer and your mind is only on the game and you've been unable to think about all your other problems, work, family, whatever it is, you've been so into your game, that is a form of meditation again. Now, if you can listen to music and you are so into your music that your mind cannot and does not think of anything other than the music that you're listening to, that is meditation as well. And so is cooking for people who are passionate about it. You're so passionately cooking that you cannot think of anything else. That is meditation again. So it's not about just sitting with your eyes closed. I mean, if you are doing things that you love, that keeps you in the present moment of what you're doing. And that's what meditation is all about. When you close your eyes, you're focusing on your breath. Why? Because your breath is your anchor. So if your mind wanders, you come back to your breath. Your mind wanders 10 times, you come back 10 times to your breath. That's your anchor. So cooking may be your anchor, golf may be your anchor, soccer may be your anchor, whatever it is. We need to understand that we need that anchor, and when we're in the present moment, that is exactly what meditation is. Sleep, again, is a form of meditation, which is why sleep is so important for us. Besides hormonal balance, besides, reducing inflammation, detoxification, balancing us, restoring us, sleep is meditation, because your mind is unable to think while you are in deep sleep. which is why when we have a good night of sleep, we wake up recharged completely, energetic, more energetic than any cup of coffee could ever make us feel. So meditation, you need to understand that you need to build your practice. No matter what aspect of life you're in, what your ambition is, what your career is, the world around us is constantly changing. I mean, I don't know anyone who can read a newspaper and, finish reading a newspaper feeling happy, or watch the news and get up from your sofa, switch off your TV feeling happy, because that's the amount of crap that we're constantly absorbing into our minds when we put the television on, depending of course on what you watch, when we read newspapers, when we look at some parts of social media, all we're seeing is suffering, hatred, all of these things, or our minds are constantly comparing us with the lives of our friends and other people, and all of this is an illusion. We need to clear that clutter from our mind, which is why all of us have to embrace the practice of meditation. Now again, for many people, y'all are already experts at this. You have teachers, y'all are doing pranayama, y'all are doing yoga, fine, whatever that practice is that you do, it suits you, do it. Now for the rest of the people who are struggling and have already built a mindset that I cannot meditate because my mind is too restless, you got to change that mindset. Okay, everyone has a restless mind. Everyone has a restless mind. You need to first change that mindset and accept the fact that, hey, there are ways where I can meditate. I just gave you examples. One is doing something that you truly love that cannot distract you from anything, cannot distract you with anything else because you're so passionate about it. There are a lot of apps, and I've been talking a lot about this one app which I downloaded about 3 weeks ago, and I've fallen in love with this app, and I wanted to talk about it today only specifically because there are so many people who believe that they cannot meditate. I've spoken about Calm, I've spoken about Headspace, but the new app that I've become crazy about is called Insight Timer. Now you can download this app on your phone. It is unbelievable because the app first asks you how much of time you have. So now you can choose 5 minutes, you can choose 3 minutes, you can choose 10 minutes, 15, 20, 30, 45, 60. So right now you have a choice according to how much time you have. So I could have 5 minutes between two patient meetings and I can do a meditation within 5 minutes. And that's what's gotten me addicted to this. Because now once you put that filter, it throws you so many world-class meditations from experts from across the world. And full respect for these people who have put in time and effort to come up with these meditation modules. Now the beauty is you can select something for anxiety, something for sleep. Okay, you can do yoga nidras, which are fantastic for you, for people who have insomnia, for people who have sleep problems. This is something that works like a natural sleeping tablet. Because if you cannot meditate on your own, we want to use a tool that can help us to meditate. You can look for self-compassion, you can look for love, you can look for acceptance, you can look for letting go, you can look for managing grief, you can look for self-healing. It is unbelievable the amount of stuff that they have out there. So instead of planning what meditation you want to do, you're feeling a little bit anxious, do 5 minutes of a simple meditation, and over here you don't even have to try to silence your mind. All you need to do is put your headphones on and someone is guiding you on what to do. Someone is helping you visualize. As you all know, visualization is very close to my heart because of the massive amount of success we've had healing people from diseases, making their chemotherapies better, their radiation better, getting their sugar levels down, getting their BP down through the power of visualization. Because when you visualize, you first need to be calm, and then you close your eyes and you build a mental picture of how you want your health to be, how you want your life to be, how you want your job, your relationship, whatever it is. You program your subconscious, you design that mental image in your subconscious, and then you see that mental image every single day, and it is unbelievable the miracles that follow post that. So again, you have an app that can even help you with that, because a lot of people say, hey Luke, I can't visualize because my mind is restless. That's fine, calm down your mind, get onto one of these meditations, and then you visualize, because you can practically change almost anything in your life if it's meant for you, if that change is meant for you, if you have the right intention backing what you really want. You back anything that you want in life with the right intention. And if it is in the line of law, if it is connected with the laws of the universe, it is going to happen for you. No matter what, it is going to happen for you. We've seen this in 4th stage terminally ill cancer patients. We've seen this in people who are depressed, people who are anxious. It's unbelievable. So you may want to download Insight Timer. If you don't need an app, meditate. Make it part of your life. Wake up in the morning. meditate in between the day. You're stuck in traffic, of course, if you're not driving, meditate. You're in an airplane, meditate. You're at the airport. Life gives us these pockets of time all the time. And we usually use that on our phones, social media, all of that stuff. Get disciplined. Like I say, vitamin D, add that discipline to your life where, inside timer, it's become like a craze for me. I meditate maybe 4 or 5 times a day because I have an option of 5 minutes or 10 or 15 or 20. And there's always something new. So you're learning something new and you're able to move into that whole meditative state. So you may want to try this out, make meditation a practice, because that's what emotional wellness is all about. Emotional wellness is also about having the right people around you. People who you surround yourself with, who uplift you, who make you feel positive, who appreciate you, who acknowledge you, and not having the kind of people who bring you down constantly, or you're trying to be someone else just because you need to fit into that social circle or fit into that particular group of people. That's draining. That messes up your emotional wellness completely. Some of us are in bad relationships. Some of us have great relationships. Some of us have bad relationships with our spouses, with our children, with our family members, with our colleagues. Whatever it is, that emotional wellness can only be finally balanced by us. And when we look inside, we get that strength through our meditation to either accept and let go. If there's someone toxic in your life, sometimes we got to let go. That strength only comes from inside. If we need to accept someone because we cannot get rid of that person, that strength only comes from inside, to let go and accept without keeping any residual feelings of bitterness, resentment, guilt, and all of that stuff. That practice that makes you strong is meditation. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep. I fly out tonight to New York, so I hope to do a couple of videos from maybe Central Park or from beautiful New York. Looking forward to that trip. Have a great day, everyone.